to another video. Today we are just continuing from the video last week. And if you haven't seen that video, I highly recommend go down in the description box and click on that first video and check it out. Because what we're doing is I am addressing some of the obstacles that you face with transitioning over to a whole foods plant-based diet, or even living a vegan whole foods plant-based diet. I mean, if I'm honest with you, I've been eating this way for 3 years and I still hit bumps in the road from time to time. So I am sharing with you how I was able to overcome this stuff. Now, how do I know what you're struggling with? Well, about 2 weeks ago over on Instagram, I posted a sticker in my stories asking you what is your biggest struggle with eating this way, whether again you're transitioning or you've been doing this for a while. I had a ton of responses, and I hate saying this, but I kind of got excited about it, not because I want you to struggle, but because I was happy to see that there are more than a handful of y'all having trouble, and it's because I wanted to share with my audience over on Instagram and even here too that you are not alone. I know sometimes we struggle and we think, oh, you know, it's just me. This is just me. I'm struggling with this. I can't lose weight. I can't get healthy. I can't live this way because my family does it. And it's just not true. There are so many other people in your situation, and you just have to figure out a workaround for it, and how to do these things that you're struggling with easy. And then it's free sailing. So without, talking too much more about it, today is just a continuation of me addressing, again, your obstacles that you've experienced or you are experiencing. And let me say this, every single one of them I have experienced before. So yeah, I'm excited to share it with you. Now, you will want to stay till the end of this video if you want to see these amazing, delicious baked oats that I'm going to be having for lunch. So yeah, this is at the end of the video, so make sure you stick around to watch that. And also, if you're new here, I would love if you hit that subscribe button and stick around so you can see the videos I release every week. I just want to make sure you live this lifestyle really easy. That is my goal here. I want to help you get healthy and not struggle. And not struggle with eating healthy. So anyway, hit that subscribe button. I'd love to see you stick around. And if you want to see these baked oats, which you're going to want to, it's at the end of the video. Again, we have a lot of eating outs. I miss eating out when friends ask me to go out. And this just kind of goes back to what I was talking about. You need to decide how you want to define socializing, okay? If you want socializing to always be about food, then you're gonna have to figure out a workaround. You're gonna have to eat ahead of time, so when you go eat out, you're not tempted, or you're gonna have to bring something, or you don't always have to do that. You can call the restaurants. You pick the restaurant you wanna go to. Tell your friends, can we please, oh my gosh, I'd love to go out with you. Can we please go to this restaurant, a restaurant that might have a plant-based option? You have things you can do, you just have to prepare and don't make excuses. I'm not saying that you are, but I did. I made excuses for a really long time. Like, oh, this restaurant doesn't have what I want. I'll just go and have some salad. I was starving while everyone else was eating their delicious, rich, full of fat meals, So you're just gonna have to, if you want this life, you're going to have to put in a little bit of work and prepare. Just prepare, and it doesn't have to be hard, It doesn't have to be hard at all. I had to change that definition of socializing for me with my friends, and I did. Not to say I don't go out to eat anymore, I do, but I had to change that story I was telling myself of what socializing looked like, and then I just had to prepare myself for when I did go out to eat, Was I gonna eat ahead of time? Was I gonna bring it? Or was I gonna ask if we could go somewhere specific where I knew they had something for me to eat? This person says loneliness is a problem for her. She's lonely because she feels like no one she knows is even a vegetarian or a vegan. And she doesn't want to feel isolated, and she is. And I can understand that feeling. I used to feel that way. Again, not this final go round where I decided to eat this way. It was probably prior to this, like throughout that decade where I kept falling off the wagon. I did experience those feelings, but what I came to realize is, and that's what helps me now, it seems like, and this is my opinion, but in this world that we live in, with all of these rich, fatty foods, salty foods that people are addicted to, it seems like no matter who you look at, more often than not everybody, somebody has some type of food thing going on. Whether they're restricting carbohydrates or they work out like a mad person. That's all they think about. You know, they do tons of CrossFit and weightlifting, and it's just like, it's their thing. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. I get it. My point is that it seems like everybody has something they're doing, whether they're not doing anything. There's a lot of people who don't do anything, but in their mind they know they're unhealthy. They may be overweight. They're thinking about it. My point in bringing this up is that helped me realize I wasn't alone. I wasn't alone. Everybody had something they were working at when it came to their health in their body. So I wasn't alone. As far as the vegan thing, or even someone being a vegetarian, that was something that I just had to believe and know that I was doing the best thing that I knew for myself. And it wasn't my job to get anyone else to believe that, you know, it's not. It was for me to believe and for me to do what I felt was true. And because I was doing that, I was so proud, and I am so proud of myself and how I've gotten my health in check. I'm at a healthy weight. I'm so proud of that the isolation, kind of just that feeling of loneliness and I'm the only one, it doesn't bother me. It doesn't. But again, just knowing that everyone really has something that they're working on in the way of health and fitness, knowing that, not everyone, but a lot of people, just knowing that and knowing that I was doing the best I can for myself really helped with feeling isolated, you know? I mean, you're not alone. You might want to join some vegetarian or vegan Facebook groups. I did that. That helped. I met a couple of people on there in my area who are also vegan, which was great. I never met them in person, but we talk a lot on social media. We sometimes voice message, which I always find way more fun than texting. But it's really helpful to talk with other vegetarians or really vegans in that sense. So yeah, join a group. Go to vegan, you know what else is fun? Going to like vegan festivals or vegetarian festivals that might be going around in town. That's a great way to meet other people and just talk about this lifestyle. This person says portions seem to be a problem for her. And again, without knowing like where this is coming from, like, are you trying to lose weight or do you just feel like you have to cut back on portions? I'm not really sure. For me, I never once worried about that. When I finally 3 years ago said like, I am living this way, I just made sure that I was eating until I was satisfied and full. That's still what I do. If I find that I start to gain weight, that just tells me that I'm in a calorie surplus, and I don't start counting calories or start restricting anything. I just make sure I eat more non-starchy veggies with my meal, and that's really it. I easily lost, you know, my 50 pounds and have been able to maintain. More recently, you know, losing the last 10 pounds, I did have to do a bit more critiquing with my meals, but that's different than, you know, I was already healthy. I was already at a healthy weight. I was just trying to lean myself out a little bit more. That's a totally different conversation to have than just being healthy, you know, and having a healthy mindset around food and not restricting. And anyway, yeah, I never worried about my portions. Now, of course, me saying that, I wasn't like stuffing my face till I was uncomfortable. I just made sure I ate till I was satisfied in full, and I still do. All right, my battery's running low. It's telling me to cut it. I'm gonna try to do like a couple more. This one says hanging out with my husband when it involves food and snacks. Yeah, my husband, I remember right before I switched over again for the final time, there was a theme of running to the corner gas station and getting ice cream late at night. And I remember telling him, like, this has to stop. This has to stop. This was so important to me that I made sure to communicate. Like, I'm not saying don't ever eat ice cream again, or you can't have ice cream on the daily if you want. I'm just asking you to not sit down and eat it in front of me. Or if you want it, let's not buy it. Let's not bring it in the house, which I did stop. But, you know, maybe just go out and eat that stuff if you could. So I would say, you know, you've got to communicate. You've got to communicate, especially with the people you live with, and let them know just how important this is to you. And more often than not, that person loves you. They're with you for a reason. They will try to help you out as much as they can. For me, yeah, I didn't want to force my husband to eat this way, but I did want him to know how important this was for me, and that if he could just kind of change some of his habits. I wasn't asking him to go vegan, but if he could just change some of his habits, that would be real helpful for me. And it was easy. All right, a couple more. This person, their hurdle is afternoons before dinner. I'm assuming this is like you get kind of snackish. Have a snack. Who says you can't have a snack? You know, eating a whole foods plant-based lifestyle or diet is not about restricting. It's about eating the foods that were put here on this planet for us to nourish our bodies in abundance. So if I ever feel like I'm hungry and I need to eat, you better believe I'm gonna eat. More often than not, if it's in between like lunch and dinner, I'll have some fruit, again, something full of water and fiber to fill me up and to keep me satisfied until the next meal. But sometimes fruit doesn't do the trick. You know, someone said here, PMS, you know, or when they have their period, they have a really hard time sticking to this way of life. And like I was saying earlier, if fruit's not doing the trick and I need something more decadent in the category of sweets, I'm gonna have my chocolate chip cookie dough dip, or I'll go make myself some, you know, healthy brownies and I'll eat that. I'm just smart about it. You know, I don't eat the whole pan of brownies. I'll have one or two, and then I make sure for dinner, I just maybe might eat more veggies. So I'm just thinking about the foods that I eat. But I don't restrict myself in any way. So if I found myself struggling in the afternoons before dinner, I'd have a snack. I'd eat something. Let's see, this person says, I absolutely love being plant-based, but I've picked up so much weight. I've heard this quite a bit. And like I was saying earlier, weight loss and weight gain is all about either being in a calorie deficit for weight loss or a calorie surplus. So if you're gaining weight, you are eating more calories than your body needs for that day. So, you know, and that's happened to me quite a bit. And I didn't quite understand, I would say, prior to, you know, fully eating this way about 3 years ago and losing the 50 pounds I lost, I didn't understand weight loss. I was brainwashed, like so many people out there, thinking I needed to restrict carbohydrates and I needed to eat a ton of fat and that's how you lose weight. But that's not how you lose weight. You lose weight by being in a calorie deficit. So if you're gaining weight, that tells me that you're eating too many calories. So that doesn't mean start counting calories. It doesn't mean go on a diet. It just means you might want to look at the plates and and what you're eating. And that's what I would do. I would look at my plate and I would see, like, am I eating a lot of veggies that are low in calories but high in fiber, that are gonna fill up my stomach? Am I even eating veggies? Am I eating enough veggies? So yeah, it's all about caloric density. And I do have a video where I talk about how I easily lost my 50 pounds, not counting calories, not restricting carbohydrates, just not going on crazy fad diets, how I easily lost the 50 pounds. And so I will link that above and in the description box. I highly recommend you watch it. I'll also link in there. I think something like why you're gaining weight as a vegan on a plant-based diet. I'll link that too. I think those 2 videos would be really helpful for you, so I would check them out. All right, and last but not least, this person is struggling with the all or nothing mindset when they have a slip up. And boy, can I relate to this. For me, I did have that all or nothing mindset. And when I messed up, that's the moment where I would just be like, I'm gonna go eat everything I'm not supposed to eat. I mean, you'd find me in the pantry stuffing my face for a good, hour. And I would feel guilty and I would tell myself, okay, I'm gonna start over tomorrow. Or I would say I'm gonna find something else that I can do tomorrow. And, I had to realize that this wasn't about being perfect. This was about taking one step every day, taking one day at a time, creating new habits. That is the key to changing anything you want to change in life. Anything that you've been doing for a long time, if you want to change that, you've got to create better habits. You got to have some discipline. Yes, absolutely. And you've got to do those new habits consistently, but that doesn't mean you won't slip up. And so for me, again, this last time I actually went plant-based and I stuck to it about 3 years ago, I understood that there were gonna be times where I might mess up, and that doesn't mean I throw in the towel and just ruin everything. It just means that one little moment got messed up, and then the next time I ate, it was gonna be a good choice. It was gonna be a good choice. And that's how I lived my life, and that's how I've been living my life. Constantly building new habits for myself, doing them consistently. Yes, not being perfect. Sometimes things happen. Sometimes vegan ice cream that's in my refrigerator gets in my mouth somehow. I don't know how. Sometimes it happens. And it's okay. It's okay. Because I understand that no one is perfect and that things happen, but I am going to make sure the next time that I eat, it's gonna be good and it's gonna be healthy. I should say healthy. It's always good, but it's gonna be healthy and it's gonna be a good choice. So have some grace for yourself, with everything in life, not just eating. And I know I said I'm not gonna tell you what to do, but I feel like saying have some grace for yourself is a good thing to say, It's not about perfection. It's about creating new habits and doing the best you can one day at a time to get to the goal that you want to get to, and you will if you don't give up.